Hello everybody, I hope you enjoyed my color organ. I, as well as Arturo, decided to do this for my project. His was by far superior, but we took two different approaches to it. He used an op-amp configuration with capacitors, and I used transistors with my capacitors. So my gain from my amplification was about 20 decibels, which equates out to about 10 times the amplification. His should have been about 40 decibels, I believe Professor Goldsmith said, which is about 100 times amplification. So he definitely got a lot more amplification, as you could tell, which his was beautiful. This is how it is on my breadboard. I use primarily all the things that were included in my kit that we bought at the beginning of the class, although I did fudge with it a little bit because I didn't have some of the parts. But as you can tell, it involves a lot of resistors, transistors, capacitors, obviously LEDs, some diodes. And yeah, this turned out pretty good. My mid, as you can tell, I have high, mid, and low frequencies. And as a color organ works, what it does is it takes sound via the auxiliary input and divides it into 3 different frequencies. So these frequencies should be about right here, where the low is 0 to 120-ish hertz and so on, mid and high. My mid has 2 capacitors. I don't know if you can tell. One of them is 0.47 microfarads and the other one is 0.01 microfarads. My kit didn't contain I believe the 0.01 microfarads, so I went and I bought a capacitor that was similar in capacitance to it, but obviously my mid was acting kind of funky, so it wasn't exact, but I was happy with the final product. So like I said, yeah, the color organ, it takes the sound and splits into the 3 different frequencies, and the lights coincide with the frequencies that come through. In a perfect configuration, if it worked 100%, they should have a balance between when they come on and when they go off. But obviously, we do the best we can and try to problem solve and troubleshoot. That's what the classes taught us. They come in hertz, which are cycles per second. And like I showed you earlier, the hertz should have been close to that. When I measured them using a tone generator, my low got about 0 to 120 hertz, and then my high got about 100 hertz and so on. So my high was a little low, and my low kind of went beyond what it was supposed to, but it still worked out. You can still kind of see the change in frequencies when the song plays. Like I said earlier, Arturo used op amps and I used transistors. So my capacitors and transistors worked in conjunction with some feedback resistors. My capacitors pretty much stored energy for a short period, which helped to smooth out the input frequencies. And so my transistors, in conjunction with that, they amplify and switch electronic signals, but also the amplification helps the output signal and increases the frequency. So in conjunction with each other, they kind of smooth out and amplify the frequencies that come in. Like I said, my mid used two capacitors, and one of them was kind of funky, so that's why I was a little off a little bit. Arturo, I believe, used a transformer to increase his audio input, which is very smart. And so mine was a little shaky, but still came out all right.